What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I'm going to go over the top 10 second appearances that I have in my collection. So stay tuned. What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics. Remember, if you'd like to see more content like this, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Now, like I said, what I decided to do this time was a top 10 second appearances books in my collection. And Alex the Comic Hoarder has been making some videos recently where he calls out other members of the community. He did one recently with the top 10 first appearances. I thought second appearances would be a lot of fun because one, it gets a little deeper pull in the collection. You get some of those other books that you might not see quite as often. Also, from what I'd call like an investment standpoint, because a lot of people like going after those first appearances, but the second appearances actually tend to go up the same amount as the first appearances in terms of percent. And so if you have a spike in the first appearance of a character, the second appearance tends to move the same amount. And so they can be great, more affordable options. And they're often just great covers as well, great books to own. Now, I did make a couple little rules for myself with this. I tried to pick books that weren't known for another first appearance. And so, as an example, I didn't pick X-Men number 4, which is the second appearance of Magneto, because it's also the first appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, all that. So it's got a major first appearance in it. So some of these do have some first appearances in them, but not like major ones like that. And so I tried to limit myself a little bit to just get a little bit of a deeper pull on the books. Now, like Alex has done in his videos, I want to call out a few people to see if they'd like to make a video like this as well, get to see what they've got in their collections. So start with Alex the Comic Hoarder. You start these a lot of times. I'd love to see a video from you. Steven with Comics with Bonix, Aaron with AA Comics, Geek Aficionado, and then Comic Collector Geek. I'd like to see videos from you guys as well. I'd love to see what your top 10 second appearances are. So let's get into this. And it was tough for me to break these down, and so I did have two honorable mentions. I cheated a little bit. So I'll start with the first honorable mention, and the order that I really did these in is I kind of did them in order of value. So I estimated the value of the books that I had, and then I picked out these second appearances, and so that's kind of the order that they're going in. So say it's least valuable to most valuable through this list. So first one here is Journey into Mystery, number 88. This is the second appearance of Loki. Great Loki cover. His first appearance is just 3 issues earlier in issue 85. He's still on there, battling Thor in his Speedo. They're on the Rainbow Bridge. Really awesome depiction of Odin there in the background. And so I think this is a cool book. First appearance of Loki, second appearance of Loki really spiked with his show last year. We've got another season coming. The books have come down a fair amount in price. I think it's probably becoming a pretty good time to pick these up again. So this is one of them, Journey Mystery, number 88, 3.5. I think it's a cool book to pick up. And just a great second appearance on the cover, all that. Now, second honorable mention, I have 2 of these. This is a book that I've actually been recommending recently as a really good, I'll call it spec book to go after right now. And that is Shazam, number 28. This is second appearance of Black Adam. I'm not counting the alter ego number 7, the kind of like unaffiliated book that has an appearance of Black Adam in it, but it isn't really an official appearance. So this is really his second actual appearance, with his first appearance being all the way back in the Golden Age in Marvel Family number 1. And so we've got The Rock coming out with this movie, this Black Adam movie. I think it's going to be a huge hit. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can see these books going up big with that. But that's not necessarily what this is about. This is just, I think this is an awesome second appearance. Really cool cover. Him fighting Shazam on the cover there. You got the wizard in the background. And so, yeah, second appearance, Black Adam. That was my second honorable mention. Yeah, and I've got one that's a CGC and one that's a CBCS. And the CBCS, I think, could press into maybe a better grade. All right, so now we get into the official top 10. This is number 10. If you watch my recent CGC return unboxing, this was one of the books I got back in that. This is Strange Tales, number 111. Now, this one does have a couple first appearances. First appearance of Asbestos Man, first appearance of Baron Mordo. So he's kind of a bigger first appearance, but the real big thing that this one is known for is second appearance of Doctor Strange. First appearance of Doctor Strange, extremely expensive book, huge Silver Age key. It just has gotten more and more expensive as it was leading up into the movie. It's probably going to cool off a little over the next few months, but Doctor Strange isn't going anywhere. He's going to be in future projects as well. But this is his second appearance. Unfortunately, not on the cover of this one either. You get that cover with Asbestos Man on it. You don't even have Baron Mordo. It's like the Strange Tales 110 and Strange Tales 111. They don't have any of the real good characters on their front covers, the well-known characters. It's Paste Pot Pete, and in Strange Tales 110. And then you got Asbestos Man in Strange Tales 111. But yeah, this is a book I got back in the recent unboxing. I wasn't super happy with the grade on it. I feel like it was the only grade I really disagreed with on all the books that I've gotten back so far. I think they hit it a little hard for the Marvel chipping that's there. Because otherwise, just a really, really nice presenting copy of this book. But this is number 10, Strange Tales, number 111, the second appearance of Doctor Strange, just one issue after his first appearance. All right, so now number 9. And number 9, I've got Avengers number 2, a 6.5 white pages copy. This is actually a unique book. This is the UK price variant. I've talked about these price variants quite a bit recently, how there's a lot of talk that they were maybe printed, they were in the first part of the printing, and that's why their colors are always really bright, really pop, and that I've been seeing prices on these ones come a little closer to the cents variants, and in some cases even past the cents variant prices. Well, not variant, these cents prices. And so you can see the difference on this one. It's got that 9D there for 9 pence instead of 12 cents. This is the second appearance of the Avengers. It's also the first appearance of the Space Phantom, but that's really not what this book is known for. Second appearance of the Avengers, one issue after the first appearance. It's not as great as a cover as the first appearance, but it's a much more affordable book. This book it seems shockingly undervalued for what it is, just being one issue later. Really popular characters, especially with how Avengers number 1 has been getting more and more expensive. So this is a book that I think is going to follow that trend, and cool book, cool second appearance, Avengers number 2. I always really like it when that second appearance is right after the first appearance. It's really close in the timeline, because sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they're quite a few years later. All right, so here is number 8. Love this cover. I think it's such a cool cover. This is Batman, number 169. I'd say I'm kind of cheating a little with this one. This is the second Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. So you've got the first appearance of the Penguin all the way back, and I believe it's Detective Comics 58 is the first appearance, way back in the 40s. But then you have the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin in Batman 155. And then this is 14 issues later, Batman 169, second appearance of the Penguin in the Silver Age. Just an incredible purple cover, especially when it's a clean copy like this. Is a really high grade, 9.2. And so when you don't have any creasing or anything, when you have those solid backgrounds, these books just really, really pop. You got just kind of some fun advertisement on the back too. But second Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. We've got a mix here of some DC and some Marvel, and I think I even have a couple independents in here. So all kinds of stuff. But yeah, cool second appearance, and just that first appearance has gotten quite a bit more expensive. The first Silver Age appearance, 155, especially with the Penguin appearing in the recent Batman movie and the talk of there being a show dedicated to him. So I think second appearances are a great way to go. All right. Now this is a pretty big book for a second appearance, because it's the same character, and it's his second appearance, but also his first appearance. So it's kind of a weird one in terms of the key facts about it. But this is number 7. This is Tales to Astonish, number 35, 4-0. Now this is the second appearance of Hank Pym, so Ant-Man, but it's his first appearance in costume. So even though the first appearance of Hank Pym, 8 issues earlier, and Tales to Astonish number 27 is the much bigger book, this is the much better cover. This is an awesome cover. You've got Ant-Man right on the front. He's with those ants. It's just such a cool cover. And yeah, it doesn't sell for as much as issue 27. It's what you get with the first appearance versus second appearances. It's kind of always the way it is, but such a cool cover, such a great cover. So I think this is an awesome alternative to Tales to Astonish 27. It's still a pricey book, but a lot less expensive than issue 27, and you get that first costume part of it as well. All right, so now we've got number 6, and I gave an example of the book I didn't pick as part of this. I didn't pick X-Men number 4, but what I did take was X-Men number 5. And so that's because this one doesn't really have a first appearance that it's known more for than the second appearance. Because this is, well, it's the third appearance of Magneto, but it's the second appearance of Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Mastermind, Toad, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, all that stuff. The stuff that you have the first appearance in X-Men number 4, X-Men number 5, you've got that second appearance. So this is a pretty major second appearance book. It's really early X-Men. X-Men number 5, 1964. You've got all those characters on the cover. However, I am not a huge fan of this cover. I love the cover of X-Men number 4. I think it is just one of the best covers of the Silver Age. I love that fading, the yellow to red fading that they do. This one, there's just something about it. It doesn't, I think it's part of it is I don't like how Magneto is drawn. I really don't care for how Magneto is drawn there. Because normally I'm a big fan of these like purple tone type covers, so you'd think I'd like this one, but it just, something about it doesn't work for me. It does have a cool date stamp though on it. That person, they angled that perfectly right on the X. They made it look real cool on there. So it's got a cool date stamp. It's an 8.0. It's a nice book, but much more affordable than X-Men number 4. This is another great alternative if you're looking for an X-Men key early X-Men book. And so yeah, this is number 6, X-Men number 5. All right, so now number 5 on the list. This is the first independent publisher that I've got on here. Not one of the big boys, not Marvel or DC. This is Albedo number 3. This is from Thoughts and Images, 1985 and 9.8. This is the second appearance of Usagio Jimbo. And so the first appearance is a great book. It's got awesome cover. He's right on the cover. He's not on the front cover of this one, but he is actually on the back cover. So I think that's pretty cool because technically most people will say Albedo number 4 is the second cover appearance of Usagi Yojimbo because he's on the front cover. So that's fine, but he is on the back cover here. So he's on the cover, just not on the front one. But that is a character that it's just because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has gotten so popular. Just these books in general, these early Thoughts and Images books, Albedo 2, 3, well, actually 1 through 4 are all pretty big books, but none of them really compare to number 2. Number 2 is in another level, but he has just become a very popular character tied to the Ninja Turtles, has a show that's supposed to be coming on Netflix. I don't know when that's coming out, but cool book. Pretty tough to get in high grade, relatively low print runs, not quite as low as like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but relatively low print runs, and just a lot of black on that cover, tough to get in grade. But yeah, second appearance of Usagi Yojimbo, and kind of his second cover appearance with that back cover. All right, so number 4, I've got 2 copies of this one as well. So I'll put up both of those. One of these was one that I just got back from that recent CGC submission. It was one of the pretty nice upside surprises that I had in that video, and this is Silver Surfer number 4. And so you might say, well, this one is really what it's known for is, this awesome John Buscema cover, and just one of the best Silver Surfer covers of all time, one of the best covers for Silver Surfer, arguably the best Silver Surfer cover. But the other thing this is the second appearance of Mephisto. And so his first appearance is one issue earlier in issue number 3. This is his second appearance. And so you've got Silver Surfer number 4. Big thing that it really is known for is just the cover. It's generally a cover by, but it is also the second appearance of Mephisto. And so got this matching pair, 7.0s, just incredible book. Love this one. All right, so now moving on to number 3. Now, I've got 2 copies of this one as well. One of them I got back in the modern submission that I did. It was one where I you know, the price put it maybe a little outside of the modern submission, but hey, you know, this is what it is. So this is X-Men number 94. And so I've got the 8.5, let's see, the 8.5, this one, white pages copy, and then the 7.0, white pages copy. And this is the second appearance of a bunch of the X-Men. You've got second appearance of Nightcrawler, Storm, Thunderbird, and Colossus. And the first appearance, obviously, is in Giant Size X-Men number 1. But this is also their first appearance in this title, so you've got a couple other little bonuses like that with this. But this is a big book, second appearance of just a bunch of very popular characters. And this one, though, this book has come down a lot recently. And so this is one of those things where with X-Men keys, there's just kind of this lull in prices right now as people are, I think, just really just waiting to see when they're going to show up in the MCU. That's when you buy the books. Don't wait until they show up in the MCU to buy the books. That's when they spike in price. You want to buy the books when people aren't looking at those books. And prices on these ones have been coming down, and so that is when you want to pick them up. So X-Men 94, my number 3 pick for second appearances in my collection. All right. So I think this is the only Golden Age book on here. Normally I'm showing tons of Golden Age, but this is my only second appearance Golden Age book that, I don't know if it's the only one I have in my collection. I think it is. This is a big book though. So this is number 2. This is More Fun Comics, number 74. This is the second appearance of 3 different characters. The second appearance of Aquaman, Green Arrow, and Speedy. This is a monster book. The first appearance is just 1 issue earlier in More Fun Comics 73. They aren't on the cover. They aren't on the cover of 73. It's just something about the Golden Age. They often didn't put those characters, those new characters on the covers because they wanted to put the established characters on the covers because those were the ones that would sell books. People would see Dr. Fate or whatever, and then they would go, oh, I know that character, I like that character, I want to buy that book, that story's about him. But if you put some random new character like Aquaman or Green Arrow or Speedy on the cover, they might not buy it. They don't know who it is, they don't have a tie to that character. Very different from what you see today, where those covers have those first appearances right on there. It's a big selling point for those books now, but back then it was treated a little differently. But I just, such an incredible book. I know when I got this, I'm very tempted to crack and resubmit this book. I think it would have a chance at a bump. It's such a nice presenting 3.5. It's just a beautiful book, especially from 1941. This is early Golden Age, but awesome second appearance. This is number 2 on my list. More Fun Comics 74, second appearance of Aquaman, Green Arrow, and Speedy. All right, so now to my number 1 pick out of my collection for my top 10 second appearances. This one, it isn't even close. This one crushes every other book on that list. I almost kind of feel like I'm cheating with it because of what makes it special, but this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. This is the second appearance of April O'Neil. And so the big thing with this book, the reason this is such a valuable book, as you can see there, it is the variant cover. This one is also signed by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And I've had people ask, why isn't that a green label then? And it's because it is an interior signature. They do not mark you down for interior signatures. You can get 9/8 with interior signatures, blue labels. They just mark that it looks basically like someone wrote that name in there. And so, but it is almost certainly signed by them. There are a number of books out there that are like this. Now, the reason that this book is so expensive is because it has such a limited, we'll call it print run. And so it's got a different color strike, basically, than what the other copies of this book had. I can't remember exactly what the print run was for this issue, if it was 40,000 or 50,000, but there are only 300 copies that have this different color strike, where you've got this white in layered and a lot more white on the cover. Now, what is normally quoted for that is 500 copies. But this is where I did that video recently where I interviewed Lawrence Klein. He sent me a letter that he received from Kevin Eastman because he was one of the earliest, or considered the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And so he got this early letter from them that said that this initial run was 300 books. 200 less than what we're thought. And so that's one of the things that makes this even more special. But this is really, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's kind of one of those grails out there. It's very tough to find, especially in high grade like this. You know, just, and I love these monotone type covers. That's what I really like about those 5 magazine size issues. You've got 1 that's got the red and black, 2 that's the black and kind of a darker blue, then you've got 3, this one's kind of the black and aqua blue, you've got 4 that's the green, and then you've got the Raphael number 1, which is again going back to the red and black. And there's something that just looks so cool about them, because you just don't see covers like that very often, especially with just the great wraparound art and everything. Just such an incredible book. So this is my number 1 second appearance of April O'Neil, variant cover, signed by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Super happy to have this book. Just an awesome book. This is one that when I remember when this one popped up for sale, I almost couldn't claim it fast enough. You know, I was very quick on the draw on this one, because I know how hard this book is to really come by, especially in this condition and with those signatures. So this is my number 1 second appearance of April O'Neil. So those are my top 10 second appearances. Love to see videos for anyone else. If I didn't say your name, still make a video. I'd love to see it. Tag me in that video, let me know that you've made it, and I'll share it as well. But the people that I specifically called out, Alex the Comic Hoarder, Comics with Bonix, AA Comics, Geek Aficionado, and Comic Collector Geek, I would love to see your top 10 second appearances as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.